Alright, what's up guys? This is a new channel that I just made because I've been doing some tech related stuff, tech related content, which some of you guys clicking on this video probably don't care even a little bit about. But I've been doing a little bit of reaction there, speaking to the camera, just giving my opinion and stuff. And now there's something else that has captured my mind and caught my interest, which is about Andrew Tate, the man himself, the infamous motherfucker who's been doing a lot of stuff the last couple of years, or a year. And I thought I would react to this, but this is going on a new different channel, which I haven't found the name for yet, but we'll see. We'll see. Whatever. It's not what's important right now. What's important is that I want to give my take on this situation. There's just a short little video here because apparently he is now. Well, the title here says he's won the case, but I know he's released from house arrest, which is pretty big. A pretty big difference. I've been following the case with him for a long time. I've been following him for a long time. I have a lot of thoughts on him. It's always difficult to really know what the hell is going on in reality with stuff like this when you're not actually in it. And there's, the internet says so many things. You go one place, you read it a certain angle in the whole situation. You go another place, you read a completely different angle, and you sit there and you think, how do these two different angles in the same case exist when they're so different from each other? And that's the beauty of reality. It's all in people's minds, and it's all what you choose to believe in a certain point, in a certain sense. But obviously, you gotta try to root yourself in physics and reality and logic and math, and try to get as close to the truth as possible. Let people speak from both sides. Take both sides and get a more nuanced view on a thing, look on a thing, and don't just jump to conclusions. So yeah, well, I'm just gonna play this video and I'm gonna see what they're gonna be talking about. I might find some more stuff after that and give my take on the situation, a little update.
So guys, absolutely massive news. As we know, Andrew and Tristan attended court the other day and it got postponed until this morning. And big news has actually come out that Andrew and Tristan have finally been released from house arrest. This is absolutely insane. It gave me goosebumps. If you want to join the real world, we have a link in the description. Tristan tweeted out saying judges have released me from house arrest. It doesn't matter how many fake screenshots.
Alright, so both brothers are released from house arrest. Okay.
Haters share on X. Imagine having spent 2 years running an account, showing old videos, saying I'm guilty. Losers. Justice is justice. The law is law. Evidence is evidence. I am.
So to give credit to these motherfuckers, they've been saying since before they even got took in for to prison or whatever, jail. They've been trying to predict what's gonna happen, and they've been just saying that they're innocent as fuck and that they should walk free. They should never be here. They should never been detained. They should always just they're innocent. And now they're still saying that. They've been saying the truth to their word, and now they're released, which is in line with what they've been saying. You have to give that to them. So that's interesting.
Free. Now Andrew is 100% going to be doing a video very soon. So as soon as there's more updates, we'll be sure to let you know right away. Guys, this is absolutely insane. Honestly, I can't believe I'm doing this video after so many times of them being rejected. This is absolutely incredible. Comment your thoughts in the comments section.
Yeah, so for some time now they have been going to court and hoping that they might be released from house arrest, but not really expecting it. You go down there and they say no, you go back home, whatever. It's the Matrix, as they've been saying. Which I don't know, but whatever. Now, the thing is though, they have been they have been charged, or not charged, but I guess you could call it charged, whatever. With pretty tough cases: human trafficking, rape, they've been alleged things like that. And it makes sense that the whatever government in the country takes it seriously and they got to do their thing, and they got to look into it, and they got to be thorough, and these people are high profile people, and but I mean, since they're now been released, first of all they got released from prison, and they're also released from house arrest now. and it's like it really that to me tells me that there has probably not been found anything of actual substance in this whole case, because otherwise they wouldn't make him, like they wouldn't let him walk free, right? So when you look at it from that perspective, it does seem kind of crazy that they've been held there for so long. You know, I think it's 10 months, 3 months in jail and 7 months on house arrest. I think that's the correct, or is it the other way around? I'm actually not 100% sure, but whatever. For a long time now, they've been held in capture, you know. And if that's the whole time they've been saying we're innocent, there's nothing. Go look at everything. There's nothing, and they've been trying to talk about the point that if you look into any man's history and really scout through every single thing they've ever done, you can probably find some people that would dislike you and have want to see some downturn of your life, especially if you're a high profile male who've been doing a lot of stuff and who've been with a lot of people and whatever. So in that sense, they're calling it unfair. To me, it's like, I don't know if it's unfair, it's just what it is, I mean, if people are lying, saying that they got raped and they didn't, that's a fucked up thing, though, right? But yeah, if you look at it in the light of all right, they never deserved to be treated like this, and they said that from the beginning, and now they're released, and they stand by what they're saying, stand by their statement. This is unfair and this is fucked up. It's hard to judge, man. There's been so many things going on, and obviously these guys, Tristan and Andrew, they're really pushing the whole Matrix thing. They're talking about how, especially Andrew, who's the forefront motherfucker of this, is trying to inspire young men to be men and be strong, masculine, resilient, stoic, all that good stuff. That maybe some government forces or even above government forces, like the leaders of the world, might have a disinterest in having the young male population becoming stronger and more assertive in the modern civilization in the Western world here. They're trying to keep a tight grip on the whole system, and keep the masses sort of subdued. And this whole theory about that is something that I feel like there's enough points being said in this area that I feel like you can't just completely write it off. I can't call bullshit on the theory, but I'm also not like fully in the boat of it, And that's mainly because it's like I don't want to start believing strongly in something that extreme when I don't actually really know, and it's so hard to know. And that's been something that's been kind of annoying listening to these guys a lot. And I think it's actually not so good that sometimes they preach this whole story about the Matrix and how they're being set up, and they're trying to just remove them and silence them because they're making strong men, and strong men will take over. And it's a fair enough thing to be discussing and to not completely rule out, as I said, but the way they're preaching it is very emotionally toned. That they're really if you just open up Andrew Tate every day and listen to what they're saying, you're really going to be almost indoctrinated, like a fucking cult following, into really believing the story is so true, and it might affect you negatively. Who knows? And it definitely, whether it's going to affect you negatively or not, if it's not, rooted in the actual truth, if it's not actually as real as they're saying, then I just feel like it's a fail once you start, developing a really strong belief in something that's not actually truth. So that's my issue with the way they're sort of talking about it. I like people that are more calm and sort of neutral in their tone, and they're just talking from factual stuff and just nice and easy and whatever. But then again, people like that exist out there, and people like that have never come to such a high profile as these people, and people like that don't capture the same amount of attention from the youth who are attention deficit and run around doing a bunch of bullshit. You need a guy like this that's like cocky and out here. And my opinion on it, which again, this is all subjective to how you look at it, but my opinion on it is that Andrew and Tristan, but these are reality show people from prior. They know how to they're smart people, is what I'm saying, and Andrew clearly realized at some point that if he takes some of his values and some of his opinions and some of his ways and just slightly exaggerated, or maybe even exaggerated a lot, he will capture attention from a lot of people, and he will become the viral man, And he started making this whole Top G figure, which I think, and you can even see it in clips here and there and podcasts and stuff like that behind the scenes, where he sort of putting on a, like you can tell sometimes. I feel like that's my judgment of it, that he's putting on this character, and it's not like this character is completely fake and he's nothing like him. He's definitely like him, but you can still exaggerate, and on the internet, it's what it is, So, and that's a point to be said, and to the people that take whatever clip they see of him in some podcast or some whatever, in some clip or some TikTok, whatever, where he's saying something very controversial, and they just judge that at face value, like that's him. If you say something once, even for 5 seconds on a TikTok, and context, I don't care. If you say that's you 100%, you got to stand out. You're gonna stand by that. You fucking idiot. What are you doing? Like, type of thing. And I've been on the internet for a long time, and that's not how I judge things at this point. I like to watch stuff, and then first of all, I always take it with a grain of salt. Whatever I see, okay. And then I start to open my mind towards it, and I start to listen to it and start to see, and I have my sort of subtle judgment of it. But if I really want to form a strong opinion on it, I need to go and dig deeper in the whole thing. I need to get some more context. And what often stops me from even doing that at all is that there's just not enough, access to really seeing the whole picture of the situation with a lot of stuff like this on the internet. It's not like you can follow every single. It's not like they're live streaming 24/7 of their whole life and stuff like that. It's not like you're on a one-on-one call with them where you can really ask specific questions and whatever. You can get a pretty good picture of a person with who's been on a lot of podcasts and stuff like that. I feel like, where they're just talking, just chill out, no, what do you call that shit? No facade. It's just unfiltered, unfiltered and just raw. You can get a pretty good picture of a person. I feel like definitely it's 100,000 times better than if you just see some TikTok clip. But I still remain sort of neutral and sort of cautious in my opinion formation on people like this, because it's through the internet. We all know how hard it's to even judge a real life person, like a friend or something, or a new person you meet. You often find yourself forming an opinion on somebody, and then later you realize, there's so much more, or so much less, or so much different to that person, and that's real life. So imagine over the internet here. Yeah, I think it's unfair to really form a strong opinion on people like this. But that's just my opinion. It's my 2 cents on the whole situation. Just a basic sort of ground is to paint like some context from why my subjective opinion is how it is. Or let me see if I can find some more stuff. Alright, so here's a different clip where he's speaking out himself, which is always nice. You gotta go to the source of the thing. So this is just after he got told that he was released from house arrest, and he has something to say. Let's listen.
In January, when I was thrown in a jail cell, the media reported and told the world that I was a terrible person. They said that I hurt people and I make a lot of money from criminal enterprise, and here we stand 7 or 8 months later and I've not seen a single victim on the news. I don't know if you have. I've seen lots of girls sticking up for me, lots of people defending me. I've not seen a single person stand up and say that I have hurt them. Not one. It's very exhausting to continue to perpetuate lies. It's very hard to keep lies afloat when you have no actual evidence. We've been completely innocent since the beginning of this, and I have to give absolute faith to the Romanian judicial system for finally making the right decision and letting us free. I'm sure in the end we'll be absolutely exonerated, and everybody who was pushing these lies and reporting things on repeat without any substantial evidence are going to have to analyze within themselves why they decide to try and destroy people's lives purely for views. I've done nothing wrong. God knows I've done nothing wrong. In my heart, I know I've done nothing wrong. I think the people at home who with a functioning brain understand we've done nothing wrong, because nobody has yet to identify a single victim which is saying that we've done anything to them since the beginning of this entire process. Once again, absolute respect to the judge, respect to Romania, respect to the Romanian judicial system. I look forward to being completely exonerated in due time. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Andrew Tate always talks pretty. He's sharp with his words. He never stumbled on his fucking words, which is interesting. Or just wild. It's impressive, actually. But something that hits me here is that he's saying that I've never seen a single person stand up and saying that I hurt them and stuff like that. And for a long time, I actually didn't really. I knew him before this whole case, and I feel like under all this, like below all this character stuff and exaggeration of things, there's actually some fucking pretty nice things he's preaching about stoicism, about masculinity, about maybe not just completely destroying conservative ideologies of gender and stuff like that. Maybe just chill out a little bit and just take more nuanced look at the whole thing. We have this tendency in the modern times to really just destroy old ideologies completely, and we just want to rethink everything, you know. This like youthful confidence that we fucking like fuck the parents, fuck the old people. We know what's good, we know what's best, and we really just kind of shit on, you know, hundreds of years of accumulation of knowledge and trial and error of fine tuning, you know, civilization and the way you live in life and stuff like that. And it's something that's not good. And with the force of the internet, and with the force of the modern law, you know, judicial system, it's almost like back in the day, for like the youth who were kind of like, you know, they want to sort of break out the mold and do it their way, you know. They were still sort of, you know, suppressed by the older people who still ran the stuff, and they didn't have as strong a voice. But today, they have super strong voice. We got children in fucking middle school who can, you know, ruin a teacher's life if the teacher even just as much as fucking, you know, touches on the shoulder, like you would do as you know, like a little pat on the shoulder. You be like, oh, he touched me. You know, there's a very strong voice of children, and I'm not saying like obviously we should prevent, you know, weird shit like that, obviously, but it's just you know, it's a pretty big change. I think the internet is a big part of that. Everybody has such a strong potential for voice, you know. They can voice their opinions. But anyways, what I wanted to say is that I saw the BBC, I think it was a BBC documentary about them, which the Tate brothers themselves have said was a whole, you know, scam, and they're just lying, whatever. But you know, I sort of just watched it and took it at face value. And we had a number of different people who came forward and said that they were raped by Andrew Tate, which is a pretty massive thing to state. And there were also some voice notes which really caught my attention, where he's saying some weird shit like you like when I rape you and stuff like that, that are apparently sent by Andrew Tate to this girl, like personal voice notes. And that's some pretty heavy stuff, and that really made me go, oh, hold on, you know. And you know, you can say, well, this is, you know, early in his life, maybe he's changed, whatever. But I don't like, if you've done some shit like that, it's fucked up. But now the question is, has he done stuff like that? And it is interesting to me how he's just denying that there are even people like that they're even standing up, because it's just fact that there have been people standing up. Now, if they're lying or not, that's a different thing. But they have definitely been they've definitely come forward and said he did this, right. I don't know if he's just only referring to the human trafficking party. Maybe that's it, because that in that case nobody have come forward as far as I know. But with the rape allegations, there have been. I will say something you have to consider, and I know this might sound like biased, like I just want, you know, Andrew to be innocent or whatever. But whatever, try to take that subjective angle away from it. Just think, we're seeing like fake what's he called, Drake songs, you know, that sound like the real goddamn thing. We're seeing voice generation. We've seen AI has really come forward recently, and it's not, I feel like, again, the same thing is like, I'm not saying that these voice notes that are pretty revealing of something terrible with Andrew Tate that were released with the BBC, I'm not saying that they're fake, you know. I'm just saying they could easily be faked, for sure. That's what I believe. With the technology we have today, they could be faked. And you just have to take that into consideration, because so that you don't take the angle that, well, I mean, this is just clear evidence. You see that fucking voice note right there. He's you know, he's guilty. We got him. You can't do that today. You literally cannot do that today. You need more thorough evidence. You need some more different. You need some more substance to the case. At least that's how I would be running the judicial system if I was in charge, because today we got technology that can really do that. And if we live in a world where somebody can fake a voice note of you saying some fucked up shit, that you raped them or admitted to some shit, you know, like, you know, in the movies where you see like they have a hidden mic of somebody and they get them to confess, right? Today you can fake that shit, or you can almost fake it and give it like 3-4 years more. You can definitely fake it. And if you have a judicial system that's not updated, so you can so they'll charge people on based on the evidence like that. That's a broken system. So I hope some, you know, lawyers and stuff like that are really aware of this, and they can say in court like, well, here's evidence how you can fake this. We made one similar where he's saying something different. You can put on stuff like that. You know, it balances itself out, hopefully. But I'm just saying, like, for the people that might have seen this BBC documentary, I definitely understand why you think he's very guilty, and I felt the same way. And you know, because it seemed pretty clear. We have to still take it with a grain of salt. Everything has to be taken with a grain of salt. His statements and their statements. And everything that's emotionally toned, like the way he's speaking Andrew Tate and the way a BBC documentary is toned or is made, very emotionally toned. So you have to fight against instincts, as you really want to believe something that's said with confidence. That's how we're wired biologically, and that's a problem that it's being portrayed like this from all sides. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff to get into. I'm not going to get into the whole thing with Andrew Tate. I just wanted to get like a little update, and it seems that he's free now. We're gonna have to follow the case, and hopefully now that the case is getting finished up, I guess we're gonna have some more information on it, and we're gonna have some statements from him, some statements from different people, and we're gonna have some clear, cold evidence that if the motherfucker hasn't been sentenced because he raped someone, and there's been months of deep investigation by a country's government, law system, judicial system, digging deep and trying to find everything, fucking turning every stone that they haven't found anything of substantial evidence, then you have to fucking, consider that pretty much. You have to take things with a grain of salt. But when someone has been charged with something and there's been a whole, trial going on, a whole trial, and the motherfucker has been found innocent, you have to believe in something, right? And gotta respect that. And we're now seeing he's released from house arrest as opposed to being, put back in jail. So that's a turn of event showing that he might be more linked to an innocent side than some people might think. And I think that's it. That's the update on it. And, I'm going to be following the case because it's very interesting. And maybe I'll make a video on it at a later point where we find some more information on it. And I might also consider making a video where I really try to go chronologically from when he emerged on the internet, got really famous, and just follow the whole thing and trying to put like a long form in-depth video about how I look at the whole thing. Could be kind of interesting, but that's something that requires some more in-depth work. But anyways, this was just this for this time. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm out. Have a nice day. Bye.